How you doing? And welcome to another installment of Objectively Biased with me, your host, the objective one, Steve Fogbeck. Now today we're going to get into discussions of history, if you will. NCAA history, little NBA history. But we're going to start off with a trending, popular topic that is Nick Swaggy P. Young and DeAngelo Russell. And who's wrong? Let me preface my statement by this. This is the new age of media, social media, where we have actually seen people take reality TV to a whole nother level. Everyone wants to record what they're doing, what they're saying, who they're doing it with, when they're doing it. I mean, we live in an age of Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. How many times do you see the same face pop up on the Instagram? And you got to keep liking the same person. Yeah, you know, your outfit changed, but your face hasn't. You're still ugly. Cut it out. So this is the age we live in. That being said, who's wrong? Is the snitch wrong in DeAngelo Russell? Because quite frankly, snitches get stitches. Steven Jackson said that. Or is Nick Young wrong for doing something so stupid and allowing it to be recorded? How is this sports related? It's going to affect the Lakers locker room. Not like it takes much to affect the Lakers locker room to begin with. But it's going to have an impact on them going forward. This is a young man in DeAngelo Russell. He's a rookie. Nick Young, quite frankly, shouldn't be in the NBA, but the Lakers suck so bad he actually has a job. But in this particular case, while everybody is chastising DeAngelo Russell for snitching, I'm going to chastise Nick Young and say he's my retard of the day. Because you sat in a room, allowed somebody to record you speaking about your transgressions, speaking about women in a demeaning way, and you're engaged. You allowed him to record you. Listen, in this life, there are certain things you do that you just take to the grave with you. And Nick Young, you don't need a code D for everything. Because guess what? Code D's turn. And you did just that. DeAngelo Russell is nothing more than a co-defendant who snitched at the end of the day. Nick Young, you did the act, and then you ran your mouth about it. So for all those out there that are trying to blame DeAngelo Russell, look at Nick Young and what he did. And then really, really think about it. I'm not going on the moral compass here, and I'm not going on the bro code or the locker code here. I'm going off of the straight fact that this knucklehead did something you should never do. Expose yourself, your transgressions, your infidelities, if you will, in this particular case, to somebody else. You want a secret kept? Guess what? Don't say nothing to nobody. The minute you tell somebody, it's no longer a secret. And Nick Young, you're my loser of the day. Now, moving on. We're going to the NBA. And we're going to history here. We've got 12 games left in the season. We've got the Golden State Warriors at 68-7. And clearly, with the games remaining on their schedule, there's really no reason why they shouldn't win at least 73 games and beat the Bulls 72 2010 season. We've also got the San Antonio Spurs. If I'm not mistaken, they're sitting at 12 losses. That's it. This is another team that has the potential to win 70 games. They're probably not, because Pop has the second seed secured and they're going to bench everybody. But realistically, we have seen some history here with Golden State and with San Antonio. And how ironic that the history I'm going to discuss right now is going to take players from both of those teams. Now, Steph Curry and Kawhi Leonard join only one other player in history right now to average 20 plus points a game, to shoot 50+% from the field, and 45+% from 3-point range, while making a minimum of 100 3-point shots. Let me say it again. 3 players. Leonard, Curry, and in the 1988-1989 season, Seattle Supersonics guard/forward, Dale Ellis. We got 2 guys that are about to make history in the same year. Steph Curry is averaging 30 points a game, shooting 50% from the field, and 45% from 3. Kawhi Leonard is averaging almost 21 points a game, shooting 50% from the field, and almost 46% from 3-point range. Dale Ellis, who did it in 88-89, where you didn't make plays for 3-point shots because that's not the way the game was played. He was averaging 27.5 points a game, shooting 50% from the field, and 47.8% from 3-point range. Nobody else has done this in the history of the NBA. That's amazing. So for everybody who has been knocking Steph Curry, or maybe sleeping on Kawhi Leonard, let's get it together here. These 2 guys are NBA superstars in the making. They're coming into their primes, and they're 2 players that are going to absolutely run the NBA, along with Russell Westbrook, for the next 4 to maybe 7 years. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, because even though Tim Duncan may be gone, San Antonio's not going anywhere. And the way Golden State is right now, and the fact that they may still be able to keep that team together, well, they're not going anywhere either. And that's my piece of NBA history. NBA history, that's a wrap. So moving on from NBA history to NCAA history, we've got the Final Four set. It's got Villanova in Oklahoma, North Carolina, Syracuse. Syracuse now being the 4th double-digit seeded team to advance to a Final Four. Previous 3, VCU, George Mason, LSU. Of which none of them ever made it to the championship game. Now, I don't want to turn around and say that Syracuse can't do it. Because unlike the aforementioned teams, in particular George Mason and VCU, Syracuse is a major program coached by a great coach in Jim Boeheim. So do they have the potential to win and beat North Carolina? Absolutely. If anybody watched Malachi Richardson, put on his show last week in the Elite 8, they got the star power. They've got solid play on both sides of the ball, and they got great coaching. So there's no reason to think that they can't do it. I'm going to say and go with the odds, they're not going to do it. I'm going to take North Carolina to win. I'm also going to take Villanova and North Carolina to be in the championship game. But the history that's being made here is that in the women's Final Four, the 7th seeded team is Syracuse. Now, this Final Four season in men's and women's basketball will feature the 12th time that a men and women's team made the Final Four. The previous 11 times featured 6 teams. Georgia, Oklahoma, Texas, Duke, LSU, and Michigan State. One team has already done it 4 times. Or one program, I should say, has already done it 4 times. The Connecticut Huskies. And they're the only program out of the 12 times that this has occurred that has actually won the title, both men's and women's, in 2014 and in 2004. Do we have that opportunity here? No. Like I said, I don't believe Syracuse gets past North Carolina. And, well, unfortunately, even if the women's Syracuse team makes it to the title game, are they really going to get past Gino Auriemma and the Connecticut Huskies women's team? No. That's the most dominant program in college sports history. So, I've given you who I'm picking to win. You've got Villanova and Oklahoma. I like Buddy Hield, but I'm going Villanova. They got the team. They got the coaching in Jay Wright. And I'm going, obviously, North Carolina over Syracuse. They got Bryce Johnson, coaching in Roy Williams. And my pick to win it all is going to be North Carolina. Would I be shocked if Villanova won? No. But that's been the nature of this tournament this year. So sit back, enjoy it, love it, and then you can say I'm wrong if Syracuse and Oklahoma happen to pull off the upsets. Now, that being said, on to the next topic. So the final topic of the day is going to be my objective thought, but it's not really an objective thought. It's more of just a thought on life. 2 weeks back, or 3 weeks back, on Real Sports, Brian Gumbel did a piece on reporter Craig Sager. And his cancer, for the 3rd time now, is no longer in remission. For those of you who didn't see it, don't know who Craig Sager is, here's a little snippet of him.
I understand that last month of February, you heard from the doctors again, and you're not in remission anymore. Do I have that right?
Yeah.
So what's next?
Well, uncharted waters. I've already had 2 stem cell transplants. Very rarely does somebody have a 3rd. So I have to maintain my strength so I can go through this.
How are you feeling today?
Still kicking, still fighting. I haven't won the battle. It's not over yet, but I haven't lost it either. There have been some victories and some setbacks, but I still have to fight it, and I still have a lot of work to do.
So, Craig Sager, who I like to refer to as the man in the suits, because he had so many colorful, extravagant, flamboyant suits that he wore, and some of them, quite frankly, were horrible. But this man has been a part of, I don't know, the NBA for decades. And I've always enjoyed his interviews. And it's tough to see that somebody I've watched, the same way we watched Stuart Scott on ESPN, go through something like this. And it brings me back to thinking, how would I feel? Here's a 64-year-old man who's beat cancer twice, only to have it come back a third time. And not only have it come back a third time, but when you watch the full Brian Gumbel interview on Real Sports, he was basically told he's got anywhere between 3 to 6 months to live. And he's still doing his job. The reality is we're all gonna die. But when you put a time frame on it, that changes life completely. And it makes me revisit mine. And it probably should make you revisit yours. Because like I led off with the Nick Young and DeAngelo Russell situation, that's minuscule to what this man is going through in his life. And there are people that are experiencing this right now, not just he and his family. This is one of those times where we need to take a step back, see sports for what it is and enjoy it. But if you got a child, a significant other, parents, brother, sister, give them a call, hug them, talk to them, spend time with them. Because the reality is, we don't know when we're going to go. And we need to appreciate what we have while we have it. And with that being said, thank you for watching Objectively Biased with me, your host, The Objective One. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Stephen Fogmeg. Follow me on Instagram, s_fogmeg.com. And again, thank you.